Hello again, it's me, and I want to do another lesson today about volumes. We looked last time at the IsoOffset, which will help you create volume from a piece of geometry. This time I want to look at VDBs, which are a much more optimized version for creating volume. So let's take a look at this. Again, I want to just create a geo node. And this time I might even give it a name, VDB. All right. And let's create again another happy, oops, that's wrong. I don't know what that is I've created. That was not what I wanted. I did want a pig head. All right. Now remember last time we were really straightforward with this. We used the IsoOffset, we added the IsoOffset, and we got a volume. We were good, right? VDB works very similar. This time, if you actually look down, is there any things here for it? Volumes. No, I thought there was something for VDBs there, but that doesn't look like that. Oh, here we go. So here you can see that there's a whole bunch of stuff for creating these volumes and SDFs using the VDB. It's actually called OpenVDB, I believe. But anyway, let's quickly move on. I'm digressing yet again. Let's take the pig head, and this time I want to create something called a VDB, and let's do this, a VD. Always do BD instead, and I want to do it from a polygon. Here it is. All right, and right away we can see we've got this surface. I don't want the surface, so let me go click off this and click on the fog VDB. Okay, and this time, happy days, I've now got my volume. And I think what I might do actually is match these. Let me see. I want to make this by size, and I'm going to have this as 0.15. Let's see what this looks like. It'll probably take a moment to calculate here. It tends to be a little bit slower, this node. And let's have a look at this. And let's create the same, the voxel size here. The lower the voxel size, the more accuracy your volume will have. Okay, now these should look very similar, and they do. I would say the VDB is maybe slightly more accurate because it doesn't have those artifacts around the mouth here, which this one does. Anyway, and again, just like the other, I can now create let's get rid of that, a scatter node if I want. And I can add the scatters into that, and I can see that I've got the points also inside of the volume, just like it did with the IsoOffset. Same thing, remember, if I add that there, same thing, right? So you can do everything with the VDB that you can do in the IsoOffset, but additional things. However, the main reason for it is for its optimization. Now let's look at this for a moment and see what I can do. Let me see here, have I got voxels? Okay, yes. So what happens is you have something called voxels, and let me show you how this works. Visualization tree. So this is just to visualize this, and if I turn this on, I can see I've got lots of little boxes. Okay, and that's how the volumes are created. They use these little boxes, and then it works out exactly where these volumes are, and it fills the box, or partially fills those boxes. The more boxes you have, the more accurate your volume will be. Okay, so let me go with something much less. So let me go with 0.5. Okay, come on. All right. Oops, I made a mistake there. I don't want that actually. I want this one, 0.5. I want 0.05. Now I can see here that my volume doesn't look as good. Let me turn this off. Yeah. All right, it doesn't look as good anymore. It's worse quality. And when I go into my visualization tree, I can see that I have less voxels because they're much larger, of course. Now if I make this Let's make this, what do we have it before, 1.5. I can see now I've created more of them. Okay, so where's the benefit? Well, the benefit is this. Even though these look very similar, the voxel count is going to be much smaller with this, because here I can see I've got my bounding box around it, but all this blank space here doesn't get calculated, just the stuff with the volume. Now if I go into this one, this is not the case, and I might add a bound node. Okay, the bound should give me my bounding box, and can I make that transparent? I don't think I can actually. I can't see anything. Maybe if I just I'm not sure how to make that create. Let me see, hold on. Is there a way to do it with these? No, it's not there. No, okay. I'm not exactly sure. You should be able to make that so that I can see inside of it, but it's not giving me that option, but never mind. So anyway, this bounding box, which is this, will be completely filled. Sorry, my dog is barking. This will be completely filled with voxels, and it will calculate each and every one, even if there's no volume inside of it. This is a complete waste of calculation. It doesn't need to have that. With this one, of course, it just calculates the stuff it needs, so the stuff around the edge doesn't get calculated. And I can prove this by going into my IsoOffset, and if I click on my information, I can see that I have 2.69, so I've got about 2.7 million voxels there. So it's quite a lot, right? And if I go in this, which gives me almost the same result, I've only got 643,000. So this one is about, what, a quarter? So this one, yeah, the IsoOffset's about 4 times bigger than this one for the same result, right? So it makes sense to use these IsoOffset, this VDB from polygons instead of using the IsoOffset, just because it's simply much more optimized. And you will see this a lot more if you're using multiple objects, and the VDB will be much more efficient. Okay, so I'll leave that one there. I waffled way too much. I hope that's useful. So now you have 2 ways that you can create your volumes. I would say a majority of the time people are going to use this now just because it's more optimized, but the IsoOffset, the old method, will still work too. Alright, so I'm going to go. You guys have a great day, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Alright, bye bye. Hello again, guys. I've just realized the mistake I made with this bounding box here. I'll quickly show you how to fix it. Remember before we were looking at this, and I was just getting the bounding box, and I wanted just the wireframe of that around it. I'm so dumb sometimes. All I needed to do was hit this template button here, and now I've got it. So I don't actually need to select it, I just need to select the template. Alright, and that will give me the bounding box that I can now use as visualization to help. So in this particular case, it's going to calculate all of this voxel, all of this information that's within the bounding box. And remember, with this one here, it does not with this one. Alright, so there you go. I just wanted to quickly clear that up in case people wanted to write and message me and say this is how you do it. Literally the moment I stopped the lesson, I went, hold on. Alright, so you guys again, have a great time, and I'll speak to you soon.